580 is a bit better. At 580,000, fairly been offered, round me off to 6. At 580,000 on the phone with Joel. I'm taking 600, ma'am, in the rise. At 600,000, can I say now? At 580,000, the bid's there, 580. At 580,000, fairly been offered, got to be 600 in the rise now, looking for 20. At 600,000, welcome, best of luck. At 600,000, bids there, see at 20 if they like. At 600,000 now. At 600, the bid, got to be 20 in the rise. At 600,000, bargain basement on at that at 20 now. At 620,000, bid back. At 50 now, and a great bid at 650,000. At 650,000, perhaps fire with fire, give me 30. At 650,000, fairly been offered now. At 650, the bid. At 650,000, bid there, opportunity with you, Joel, on the phone and over here. At 650,000, we're at 650, man, against your bid. At 650 now, at 70 now, 670,000, about throw me off to 7, sir. At 670,000, bids here on the phone with Joel. At 670. At 670,000 now, fairly been offered. At 670, the bid. Once. At 670,000, done. At 670,000, twice. At 670, done. Finished. Third. At 680, I was short of my stride to get you involved, man. Best of luck here today. At 80 now. At 680,000, same courtesy at 10 if they like, Joel. At 680 now. At 680,000, fairly been offered there. At 680 on the other side of the fence at 80 now. At $680,000 a bid. Ma'am, only cost you 10 in the rise. At 85, at 685, and the same courtesy at 5 if you like, at 685 now. At 685,000, 90 is an easy decision. At 685,000, at $685,000 a bid. Bid there, opportunity here, 685, let him know I'm taking 5, Joel. At 685,000 once, at 685 are we done? At 685,000, at 90 now, and welcome back at 90. At 690,000, at 690,000 on the footpath there at 90. At 690,000, fairly been off at 90. 700, an easy decision surely. At 690 the bid. Once at 690, we done. At 690,000 twice. At 690, done. Finished. At $690,000 the bid for the third and final call. At 690 the bid. Are we done? We finished. Silent. Out. At 690,000. We're definitely done here, Ange. At 90. Instructions on the phone, Joel. And Julian here at 690,000. Going to get you back involved, sir. At 690. I dare say that we will be. We're not quite there just yet, but we're extremely close.
Let me know it's on the market.
It's on the market, and you'll beat if I tell you it's on the market, will you? The problem is with that, sir, if we don't get on the market, I can't deal with you. I can only deal with the highest bidder, and we're that close, so I'm sure you're going to be angry with me later, but you've got the opportunity now. So if you want to put yourself in the box seat, and at the worst case, secure the negotiation on an exclusive basis with the vendor, I need to see your interest now, because I will only deal with the highest bidder. So 690, the bid's there now. At 690,000 once. At 690 twice. Third. Final call at $690,000 the bid. All done, all finished, silent, out at 690,000. Is that a forthcoming bid? At 690 now. Need to know, Joel, at 690,000 bids, that's against them. Ma'am, can I confirm that bid at 690? Bear with me one moment, I'm going to seek some instructions. I'll be right back, thank you. Boys, thank you so much for your patience, sir. Man, can I confirm that you've decided to strengthen your position to 700,000? At 700,000, I'm pleased to say the bid's with you, the keys are with you, we're on the market, we're selling, gonna put you on the hot spot now, sir, on the market and selling at 700,000 even money. We sell a wave, there's no further bid here today. Our instructions are clear, we're selling at 700,000 for the first call at 700,000. Are we done?
500.
At
700.
700 and a half. At 700 and a half now, 700 and a half now. Best responsible small bid's always a strong bid. At 700, 500 now. At 700, 500, can I say 705 in the rise? At 700 and a half. At 700 and a half in the bid's at 700, 500, 700,500 now. At 700 and a half. And two at 702 and a half. At 702 and a half now, fairly been offered at 702 and a half. At 702,500, small bids help the competition come along at 705, big bids buy property. At 10 now. At 710,000. At 710,000. At 15. At 715 and 20 got. At 720,000 fairly been offered. At 720 the bid. At 720,000 fairly been offered bid there. Opportunity with you. Came in late in the game. Make sure it counts. At $720,000 the bid. Once at 720 are we done? At 720,000 ma'am. So we're at 720 now taking fives. At 720,000 fairly been offered. At 720 bids here. Keys are here. We're on the market. We sell. At 720. At 25 and welcome back at 25. At 730. At 730,000.
727.
I've got 30 here, Joel. At 730,000 now. At 730. At 730,000. Can I say 35, sir? At 735 now. At 40 if you like. At 735 and 45, sir. At 745. At 745 and 50. At 750, 60. At 60, at $760,000 a bid, at 760 the bid. Looks like it might have been done the trick at 760,000. Bid there, opportunity with you. It's just a big bid, so you can make one too. At 760 in the bids here, at 760,000. Are we done over here at 760? Definitely done. Thank you so much for your bidding here today. At 760,000, fairly been offered at 760 the bid. For the first call at 760 at 65 now. 65, 75? At 65 we're at. At 70 now, 670. At 75 if you like, at 670, at 770, aren't we?
770.
Yeah, I took $100,000 off, so sorry I can't extend the discount to you. At 770,000, at 770,000 the bids, it's against you at 770 now. 775 will get you back in top. Are you absolutely sure? At $770,000 the bid. We're on the market, we're selling at 770 now. Out here, out there, at 770 once, at 770,000 done. In or out at 770, at 770,000 twice. At 770, done, finished, third, final call at $770,000 the bid, all done, all finished, all silent, all out at 770,000. Yes or no, sir? At 770,000, need to know. At 770,000, we're on the market. I'm about to sell at 770. At 770,000, the bid's there, the keys are there. If you've come to buy, you have to show me now. If you have indeed come to buy, bid me now. If ever, hold your peace. We're on the market, we're selling at 770. At 771. At 771,000, bid back there at 71. At 771,000, keys are with them. If you want those keys back, bid me now. At 500, 771 and a half. At 771,500, fairly been offered now. 771 and a half, and the bid's there. At 771,500. At 771.5. At 771,000, course your optimism, sir. Small bids might show the competition's out. At 771 and a half, can I get you back involved? At 500, 772 now. At 772 and a half, sir, 772 and a half. At 772,500. At 772 and a half, and the bid's there, 772 and a half now. At 772,500 once. At 772 and a half twice. Third, final, 772 and a half is there. 772 and a half for the third and final call at 772,500. All done. All finished, all silent and out at 700 and a half. Had it here first, Marie, at 773. At 773,000, I'll take half on top. At 775 now, 775, and the bid's back here. At 75, my left, your right, opportunity with you at 75. At 775. At 775,000, fairly been offered, bid there. Opportunity here, sir. And a half now, 775 and a half. and 776 at 776,000 at 776, and the bid's there now. 776, fairly been offered. We're on the market. We sell here today. That's for certain. Just got to work out who's going to sign the contract at 776 once at 776 done. How are we going over there, Maria? Twice at 776 done. Finished. We're at 776, sir, at 1,000 at 777s. At 777 now, at 777,000, bids back there, at 500 now, 777 and a half, at 80 now, welcome back, sir, come back in with style, at 780,000, at 780,000 and a half now, 780 and a half, at 780,500, let him have it for half, surely not, sir, it's only half, at 780,500, I promise you you'll spend more than that celebrating the win tonight, at 780,500, fairly been offered. You're not a Carlton supporter, are you, sir? Because it's the only chance you can have a win all year. At 780 and a half, and the bid's there, and a half there. Andrew's not happy with that at 781. At 781, welcome back at 781. At 781, at 781,000 bid there against you at 781. Are you absolutely sure that was the limit? At 781,000, I'll give you a moment to think about it and I'll circle back. At 781 now, once at 781, are we done? Twice at 781,000, done, finished. Third, final call at 781, the bid. Just confirm at 781, the bid's here with you on the market and selling at 781,000. So we're absolutely done here? You're definitely out? Yes. Thank you very much for being here today. So we're definitely done at 781. No more left in the tank. Happy for me to sell over there at 781. At 500 now, 781. I had a feeling you'd be back at 781 and a half. At 781,500, and the bid's back here now at 781 and a half. At 500, 782. At 782,000. At 782, fairly been offered now at 782,000. $500 bids, help him keep coming along and a half now at 782 and a half. At 782 and a half now. At 782,500 bid here. Against you, 782 and a half. Are we absolutely sure? Hey, Paul. How's it going? 782 and a half, bids there, need to know, 782 and a half, yes or no, 782, so we're definitely done there, just double check for me Joel, we're definitely out, thank you again, at 782,500, if there's no more left in the tank, I'll sell over here, at 782 and a half now, once, at 782 and a half, done, twice, at 782 and a half, done, finished, third, final call, 783 now, 783. Was that 85 or 500? At 500, 783. They told me they were out, sir. You had them on the ropes. One last big bid now. Might just do it. A knockout bid. Are you absolutely sure? At 783, the bid's there. Opportunity still with you. I'll give you ample time to make the right decision. At 783,000. Once and a half, and welcome back at 783 and a half at 783,500, and we're back here now. Keys are back here. Opportunity still with you though. I'm about to sell. Once it's sold, the opportunity goes at 783,500 at 783 and a half, and 4 and a half at 84 at 700. At 785, at 785, at 785,000 bid there, keys are there. You've told me that before, sir. You're building some trust issues here. 785, I need to know, you sure? At 785, absolutely sure. Thank you very much for your bidding here today. At 785,000 once, at 785, all done. Twice, at 785,000, done and finished. Third, final call, 785 the bid. Are we all done? Are we all finished? Silent out at 785. Definitely done here. Thank you again. Tell me one more time you're right and I'll sell. Thank you. Thank you very much for being here today. At 785,000, first, second, third, final call, done, finished, silent out. At 785, we're selling, selling, selling. Absolutely sure, sir. Done? Sold. Congratulations and well bid. Please join me congratulating our purchasers and our vendors here today. You've just witnessed another successful Harcourts Rata & Co auction. Have a great weekend. We'll see you again soon.